All right, so today I want to talk to you about international short-term missions trips. I want to challenge us with the question today, why go? Why would we go on an international missions trip? Well, I've been to 2 international missions trips here at ORU, one to Togo, West Africa, and one to Benin. And actually 1.6 million Christians every year, which doesn't seem like a lot, but they get into a bus, get into a plane, and go to countries that they've never been to go and preach the gospel. So that is a lot of people doing this. Why would they do it? What's the incentive? Many of you probably think that this is kind of the idea of international short-term missions, and really it's not. I've only eaten bugs and ropes, I think, of training. So no bugs on the field, but it can happen. And so, but more so, international short-term missions looks like very practical. Looks like helping people grow and harvest their crops, selling them for business purposes, and giving food, and also building buildings. And so this is a really cool thing. It's a very practical side. On the more ministry side of short-term missions, it's just hut-to-hut evangelism, door-to-door, going and talking to people, getting to know them, and hearing their heart, presenting the gospel to them. They're kind of just hanging out in these chairs, just getting to know people. Many of you probably think that short-term missions looks like Heidi Baker here, well-known missionary, preaching the gospel, telling people about Jesus, and a lot of times these are the services that we think of when we think of short-term missions, is praying for people, songs, and stuff like that. So why should we go on international missions? Well, basically for the simple reason Jesus tells us to. It's his heart that we go and tell other people about him. And so if the way that we do that is short-term trips, then that's what we should do. All throughout the Bible, Old and New Testament, God tells us to go and to tell the world about his love, his goodness, to preach his forgiveness, all of that. And so we see it so many times, a simple word, go. Now, here in America, we have a hard time differentiating between wants and needs. Now, although we may want the apple on the left, the Apple product, we technically don't need it. We really need food, and a lot of people in other countries don't even have food. So going on short-term missions really gives you a perspective of wants versus needs. And so you kind of just learn on short-term missions the difference between wants and needs, and you really start to question, do I really need that cup of coffee? Do I really need that new technology? In America, we've been taught, give us more. Give us more food, give us more money, give us more technology, give us more time. And so this is something that we've kind of been mentored into, and it's really something that isn't good for us because we can't really relate to other people because we have so many choices. Here in America, we can choose the different flavors of water we want. We can choose between lemon, strawberry, raspberry, where in other countries, it's just dirty water. We can choose the mattress level of firmness that we want. In other countries, they just sleep on the ground. This picture was taken in Togo, West Africa, with a bunch of kids, and one thing I learned so important was that kids in other countries, they don't need all the stuff that we have to make them happy. They're really happy in what they're doing, and they love each other. And so a very important aspect of short-term missions is team building. This is probably my favorite part of going on trips. It's because you learn so much together with a team of people, and you really learn to work together for a common goal. And so as you can see, unless you're everyone except the ant sitting on top, you're working really hard to make this happen. And so on short-term international trips, you really learn to work with people, to have a common vision, and to see it happen. Now, although this may look silly, this little group in the rain, it really is a very practical way to grow as a team. And this is something that I really like on short-term missions. You grow with a group of people and you get to know them. You learn how to be humble and be led. Now, if I said to each of you, you have 5 minutes to plan a children's service to gather their attention and to present the gospel, how many of you guys would kind of freak out with that? I would before missions, but when you go on trips, you learn that these things happen. You have a couple minutes, and you really learn that team members have your back as you're doing it. They're supporting you. They really become like a family, and you learn that, you know what, if I mess this up, I'm going to go back, and my team has my back. They're going to encourage me, and there's always next time. And so that's a really cool thing. One of the most important things I would say of why you should go is because you really learn that it's not about us. It's not about you. You have a small part to play, but really it's the Holy Spirit and it's your other team members who make it all possible. And so I just want to challenge you today. Go preach the gospel to all creation. Go on international missions and get new eyes. Thank you.
Our next volunteer.
Thank you.
Hello, how are y'all doing? My name is Jay Jamez Wynn. Jay is for Jamez, and I'm from Houston, Texas, as you can see. And I'm going to talk about the wonderful state of Texas, because so many people seem to have these thoughts about it. They bring up all these presuppositions about, oh, Texas is this, Texas is that. I don't really want to go there. Why they're all so prideful and so this? I'm just like, have you actually ever been there? Have you actually gone there for yourself? Maybe it's time for you to branch out and make your own decisions and find out what you really do like about Texas and what you don't like about Texas. So that's what this presentation is going to be about, me telling you about Texas so you can branch out and make your own decisions. Main question, where does the pride come from? Where does the Texas edition, the everything is bigger in Texas, where does it all come from? I like to say it originates at the heart of Texas, the very culture itself. We're going to take a walk right through these doors of Texas History Museum to learn all about Texas history first. So within the Texas History Museum, you have people mention Stephen F. Austin, you have the battle at San Jacinto, the Alamo, all these great things. One of the main facts that you need to know about Texas is there have been 8 changes of government. It went from Spanish to the French, back to the Spanish, to the Mexican, to the Republic of Texas, United States, Confederate States, and then back to the United States, which is where it is now. 2 very iconic figures in Texas are Sam Houston, who made Texas come into a very constituted state or something like that. And then you have Stephen F. Austin, who's the father of Texas. Another thing you have is the Alamo, which is what you probably all are aware of. Oh, the Alamo, you think of Texas, which is located in San Antonio. And the Alamo is considered the cradle of Texas liberty and the state's most popular historic site. So now we're going to move on to Texas Pride, where you have where you see the Texas edition. Everything is bigger in Texas. You probably heard that, like I said, and bigger is better. You have Texas Roadhouse, Texas Toast, all these things with Texas in front of it, because we pride ourselves on bigger is better. You see Texas style barbecue. You can't beat it. Anywhere you go, I don't care what you say. If you haven't tried this, you should definitely try it. Just the slow roast. There's competitions that are huge and enormous in festivals that take place in Texas. Another thing that's very big in the state of Texas is football, high school football. I believe Texas is one of the only states that you can see multiple towns just shut down just because a high school football game is going on. Another thing, all you Dr. Pepper lovers, and you heard in my last presentation, Dr. Pepper is so wonderful, and where is it from? Of course, Texas. So Dr. Pepper was actually invented in Waco, Texas, and it was like a little joke that Dr. Pepper has its own town, but it's actually Dublin, Texas. So now we're going to talk about some Texas officials, some symbols and things. Some of my favorite are, the nickname is the Lone Star State, which you might know. The capital is Austin. We do have a motto of friendship, despite what you may think. So now just some random facts that every Texas visitor needs to know. The King Ranch in Texas is bigger than the state of Rhode Island. Can you say wow? Yes, you can. More wool comes from the state of Texas than any other state in the United States. So some random facts. And then other facts we have are Texas possesses 3 of the top 10 most populous cities in the United States, which are Houston, Dallas, and San Antonio. I actually happen to be from Houston myself. And it's 267,369 square feet. Some professional sports teams include the Dallas Cowboys, the Dallas Mavericks, the Dallas Stars, Houston Astros, Houston Comets, Houston Rockets, San Antonio Spurs, and the Texas Rangers. I represent the Houston Texans, now you know. Some wonderful vacations can come up in Texas despite what people may think as well. You have the Gulf of Mexico, which is home of this wonderful picture and the lovely beachfront where you see the wonderful skies and the good waters. You have some peace and quiet resorts that you can take yourself and be a part of that are in, like I said, they have country, they have city. We'll talk about city later. But if you take your loved one, go enjoy yourself at a resort. You have lakes all throughout Texas. You can have lake days that you have so much fun. I've personally just experienced a lake this past summer, and I got to wakeboard. That's not me, obviously. But lake days can be very fun in Texas. I definitely advise you to do that. Last but not least, you have the city life. You can go shopping around. You can just enjoy the atmosphere. You can hit up just all the buildings, the skyscrapers, the downtown areas. It's very wonderful. And so I definitely hope this persuaded you to come to Texas and enjoy it for yourself.
Yeah, get into that.
I need my super fan.
I'm sorry. Should have told him. They would stick to the game.
Hello everyone, my name is Allison Liz, and I am here today to talk to you about something that I call perfectly ridiculous. In order for you to understand what I'm talking about, I'm going to preface this with just telling you a little bit about myself. I grew up in a super tiny town in North Carolina where my dad was the pastor of a church. And being from a small town, it was kind of a picturesque place, just like in the movie where people know your business, they talk about your business, and everybody knows what's going on with you, kind of like with the Andy Griffith Show. It's just kind of the place where I grew up. And in that atmosphere, I believed that in order to be valuable, I had to be perfect. I was kind of the little princess of the town. Like, everybody knew who I was, and this is a picture of me. So cute. I think it was like 5 here, but I believed that I had to have perfect grades, that I had to know the most Bible verses in Sunday school, and that I had to win games when I was playing soccer in order to be valuable. But since then, I've learned that there's something so much more important than being perfect, and that is striving for excellence. That this idea of perfection is an abstract concept, and it's not something that really exists. Perfection is an emphasis on the end result of something instead of focusing on the process, and it's something that you have to sacrifice your self-esteem for when you don't get it correct. Excellence, on the other hand, is an emphasis on the process. It's about day in and day out decisions that you make to be the best that you can be. In my search for excellence and shedding of perfection, I came across this list of the ABCs of perfection, and it's something that I want to share with you because it's helping me focus in on those character attributes that lead to excellence. They've just been important in my life, and A stands for audacious. Audacious is living out loud without fear of consequences, and it's just going after your goals with everything that you have. B stands for brave. Brave is acting with courage and compassion. C stands for compassion. Compassion is when you can see the pain of others, but you choose to act and make a difference in their lives. Choose to make a difference and don't walk past people when you have the opportunity to change their life. D stands for driven. Go after the things that you want in life with all that you are. Be driven by compulsion to succeed and excel. Be encouraging. If you have the opportunity to speak life into someone, do so. Don't let that pass you by. Be fearless. Act without fear in everything that you do. Be generous and give to others, because as you pour into others, they will pour into you. Be honest. Be someone that is guided by truth and let no lies spill from your lips. Be honest in everything that you say and do. Be inspirational. Create an atmosphere around you that encourages others to be the best that they can be. Be just. Be guided by truth and what is right. Be kind. Be kind to everyone around you and speak life into their situation. Be loyal. Be loyal to the people that are around you. Honor them. Magnanimous. Magnanimous means to forgive people regardless of what they've done to you. And be noble. Be someone that is worthy of righteousness. And be optimistic. Live your life with your cup half full. Don't look at things half empty. Be perseverant. Keep going to achieve your goals. Q stands for quiet. Have a quietness inside your soul. Be ruled by peace. Be resilient. Keep on keeping on. When something knocks you down, to get back up. Be stalwart. Stand in the face of adversity. And be a team player. Be someone that's easy to get along with and easy to work with, because that will lead you everywhere. Be undaunted. There are situations in your life that you will face that will knock you down and that will scare you, and you will be afraid and sometimes even disappointed. But get up anyway and do what you need to do. Don't let them hold you back from achieving your goals. Be visionary. Don't be bound to a box. Think outside of it. Do not be confined to normal ways of thinking. Have the X factor. The X factor is something about you that's different from everyone else. Don't be afraid to let people see who you are. Be youthful. In life, you'll encounter situations and they will try to steal your joy. Don't let that ever leave you, and chase everything that you have. Be zealous. Go after things with passion and never let that die. So whether your dreams are to be the CEO of a Fortune 500 company, to run a marathon, or climb a mountain, do it with excellence. And for goodness sake, don't be perfect. Just those three? Anyone else?
Shortest class ever.
Shortest class ever.
Awesome.
All right, you guys have a great